from my given disaster. Speed away from the holy mind. Pride, that's where I never thought it would matter. If I'm gone by now, all my weakness keep on linger on repeat like it will be my favorite song. Oh, I know I should be moved.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, hello, my name is Marcelina. I'm a 15, almost 16-year-old author. I publish mystery romance books, YA, clean mystery romance books. I have one out currently. It's called The Book That Divides Us. You can buy it on Amazon, Kindle Unlimited, Barnes & Noble, etc., etc. I'm going to try to make this intro short and sweet because we have a lot to get into today. To get all of you guys on the same page, I am on draft 4, actually. I'm just starting draft 4 of my newest book that releases on February 14th next year, 2026. It's called Labeled Innocent, Presumed Dead. Like FBI, true crime, blacklist, criminals, a missing girl, a love triangle, all of that fun stuff. If that sounds good to you, you should totally stick around so that you will get to read this book when it's out, and hopefully it might become one of your favorites. But for now, we are stuck on draft 4. If you saw last week's vlog, which I'll link in the description down below, because for some reason all my videos have been flopping lately, so I don't know if the algorithm is pushing out my videos the same as it used to. I'm not even sure if it's affecting my videos specifically. I know from my edits and my short form content, it is flopping dramatically. It's really sad. If you didn't know, this book has already went through 3 people. 3 people have already read this whole thing, gave feedback on it, made comments, annotations, filled out a feedback form. Like, I already edited with their feedback, implemented it, and that's what made it to draft 4 now. We've transitioned, I've moved on. That's kind of consumed my life the last month, because actually over a month ago on September 5th was when I sent it to that first round initially. The reason I wanted to get a second round going, however, was more of a strategical reason than anything else, because think about it. Yes, got 3 people, which is really good. A lot of them are saying the same thing, so like, okay, that's good. But then I edited with their feedback. I rewrote whole scenes, I added things, I deleted things. So now that I've made a bunch of big changes, I want more people to read it. Like, I want a couple more to like see if those changes that I made it better. And they haven't read the prior version. I wanted to get brand new people in, brand new eyes, so they could read it unbiased, so they have nothing to compare it to. So instead of being like, is this better than the last draft, it'll simply be like, is this good? Period. And if they say the same things that my previous beta reader said that I thought I fixed, that's a problem, because that means I apparently did not fix it as good as I thought I did. So I am bringing in 2 more beta readers. I announced this in a community post, but I got like my top 2 writing idols that I absolutely love and adore so much. And they're both reading it, so I don't know how I got so lucky, but I was sending stuff out to them like the past week, and they both agreed, and they both said it would be an honor, and it's right up their alley. So okay, I need to take a breather. I'm a little too excited for it being almost 9 p.m. on a Sunday night. Yeah, I need to calm myself down. I feel a little bit bad though, because I kind of promised that I would send it to them on Friday, but I underestimated myself, because as you saw from the beginning clips, it was my school's homecoming. And it's actually stressful because I'm in student council this year. I was not last year. So I was running it, like for that assembly, like I was doing the spotlight. So I was literally the only person. There was one spotlight illuminating the whole like bottom stage. And I had to constantly like follow who was speaking. And it was really stressful. I feel like I messed up once, but it's fine. And then we had to stay until like midnight to clean up for the dance. And it was just very, very stressful overall and chaotic. And I don't know why I promised that when I had something else that took up all of my energy. This past week has genuinely been one of the busiest of my life. I'm not even exaggerating. But a couple days later, it is Sunday. I finally edited the final things that I've wanted to like perfect before I send it to them, because I'm super duper nervous. And now I'm ready to send it to them. So that is what we're going to be doing. I have the manuscript right here pulled up. I do have a couple things to do, however, so you're going to get like some time lapses because I need to do some things. But I wanted to get this vlog started. Have not filmed an intro yet, so hi. So yeah, first things first, I can't send it quite yet. First things first, I need to make a copy of this because I give each beta reader their own individual draft. So I need to copy this, delete all my notes, and then make 2 separate drafts for each beta reader. Let me do that, and then I'll check in with you guys. I'm currently listening to Tit for Tat by Tate McRae, which is like her newest song, and it's a diss towards the Kid Laroi. I have so much to say about it. I will say, is it my favorite song by Tate McRae? No. But is it also really good and really catchy? Like, yes. Also, I am really sad because I thought her and the Kid Laroi were genuinely one of my favorite celebrity couples. And this is coming from someone who usually does not care and doesn't follow celebrity couples, because I know how likely they are to break up and how, like, the drama surrounding them is always so messy, and a lot of those relationships are just for PR and they're fake. But the Kid Laroi and Tate McRae were, like, genuinely one of the only ones I was ever interested in that I ever thought was genuine and real and authentic. And I'm so sad that they went from, like, breaking up, which I originally thought was on friendly terms, to writing diss songs about each other. Get out. But anyway, it's really catchy, so I'm gonna listen to that. We're gonna start with getting their files ready. And actually, while we're on that topic, I need to make sure that I give the feedback from Access. So we're gonna mess with the settings on that for a minute. So let me do that. I will check in a second. Alright guys, so I officially made 2 separate documents for each beta reader. It's really something I do. Literally the only reason why is because I highly encourage all of them to leave comments and annotations, not just of critiques, but like their general reactions, almost like they're annotating an actual book. And I feel like this all started last year with my last book, when I had one of my beta readers, which I wasn't doing this, but I had one of my beta readers be like, this is going to kind of affect my comments and what I'm going to say if I'm sharing a doc with a bunch of other people. And I was like, oh my gosh, of course, like I can totally make separate copies. So I started doing that because I feel like people are more likely to leave more authentic comments, personal comments, just like if they know 100% I'm the only one that's going to be saying this doc. I do sometimes share comments, but I keep things very spoiler free. I don't even refer to my beta readers by their names. You'll see that and you'll know that if you have watched my other videos in this series. For privacy reasons, also because I don't want there to be any favoritism. I don't want any accusations of like me choosing anyone. Like, I have my criteria, I have my reasons. I love each and every one of you guys, but I do have to think from a business standpoint. Do I like the writing style? There are some people that I absolutely adore on this platform, but I already promised them an arc, or like I selfishly really just want them to buy the book when it comes out. Otherwise I would ask them. So anyway, you'll hear me referring to them by numbers. So we're gonna start off, because I'm ready to send now. So we're gonna start off, let me go to my email, with beta number 4. Technically this is gonna get confusing because technically she's beta number 1 of this second round, but I do not want to say that every single time. I do not want to keep saying beta number 1 of the second round. That's just like a lot. So even though she is, hopefully you understand that, I mean, like, she is, but like in the grand scheme of things, if we're lining up all my beta readers, she's the 4th one. I was going to just start calling her beta number 1, but then I realized all of y'all know beta number 1 is beta number 1 for my previous videos, and I don't want to keep like confusing when I eventually like write the acknowledgements, and which I will use people's names for that, but I just don't want things to get too confusing. So beta number 4. This girl is the aspiring author that I mentioned in the last one that I emailed. She got back to me. She is like my absolute idol. Like, if there's anyone I wanted, it would be her. And it's actually really hilarious. I was looking back at the notes app and I had a list of beta readers that I had been thinking of. May 17th. Beta number 4 is on here. Her email is on here. And I know for a fact that this was the last time it was edited and I added things to it. So it was actually a little bit before that. I want to say it was in April. So I have had this particular person in mind for at least 4 months, closer to 6, let's be so for real. And that says a lot. That absolutely says a lot because I've been watching her channel for a long time. She has over 1,000 subscribers, which is insane. She's amazing. She recently went through the beta round of her own book, so she's experiencing this. Like, she understands kind of what I'm looking for, the criteria, like kind of the level of precision that I am looking for, which sounds really picky. And I don't mean that in a pressure way. Like, if any of my beta readers like are watching this video and can attest to this in the comments, like, I'm the least pressuring person. I really don't care what you do, like how much feedback you give. With the first 3, I had a range of how detailed they got, like what kind of feedback. One of my betas, their comments were like 80% critique stuff and only 20% reactions, which I actually really loved because they were like my professional editor, and since I'm not hiring one, that was perfect. The others were like, they really only commented funny reaction stuff, and then they gave all of their critiques and suggestions in the form, which I was also fine with. So it really depends, but I'm really excited for beta number 4. So anyway, that's her. And then beta number 5 is the girl I mentioned last week as well, that I messaged on Pinterest. She also has a channel on here, and she is a writer, but she doesn't really post writer content. So like, if you know her, she's not really known for her writer content. She does a lot of book edits. She's really obsessed with Jennifer Lynn Barnes and the Inheritance Games, which is a huge influence and inspiration for Labeled Innocent Presumed Dead. And she's been following my channel for quite some time now, and I remember her commenting. I was looking back, I think she first commented, I want to say 2 months ago, but I'm not sure if that's the first time she found my channel or the first time she commented. I'm really excited, but that will be beta number 5. I'm going to send it to beta number 4 first, only because I've stayed more in touch with beta number 5. I'm not gonna lie. Pinterest communication is easier for me to like stay caught up on the email communication, and this girl emailed me a few days ago and I've kind of low-key been ghosting her. Not really, like I said, I've been so busy, but I want to get it to her as soon as possible, and it's getting late. I don't know if I'll have time to send it to both people today, but if I'm gonna send it to one person tonight, I want it to be beta number 4. So I'm gonna send it right now. Let's do that together. Okay, so if you don't know what I do, I low-key kind of just copy and paste the same thing for everybody, but I just add personalization. And that really just helps me stay organized, because genuinely, I have so much information that is crucial in these emails when I'm sending out beta copies. And I do this for ARC readers too, by the way. So like, if you were an ARC reader for my last book and you're signed up to be an ARC reader again, you'll notice I give like the same spiel, and because I just copy and paste it, and I just like personalize like your name and like a little something at the beginning that's more personal. But honestly, I have so much critical information and my brain is so small. I have like the memory of a goldfish. I'm not even kidding with that. I tell that to like all my friends and they see it. It's very obvious because I do. I don't want to like have to type it manually every single time, because the likeliness that I'm going to forget a critical piece of information in one person's that I say to someone else is very high. So to just avoid that, I copy and paste the same thing, and it works. So let me find one of my others. Okay, we will go to her. Perfect. Okay, so now we're just going to go back to beta number 4, and okay, another time lapse. I'm going to clean this up a little bit, and I will be back at you guys when I'm like officially, I've attached all the documents and I'm ready to send it.
I still remember loving the danger. You set me on fire when I'm by your side. Taking me higher, I'll follow you down if you go down. Now you say you wanna get away, you wanna take me all the way. Might get burned if you get closer to the sun. I want ya. We can burn together, fading into one another. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, don't you know you're still loving through me, baby? We could run free if you do it just the way you like. Maybe I could waste my time on you. Never mind all our worries. If you do it just the way you like, maybe I could waste my time on you.
Y'all, I'm gonna crash out. My storage is being stupid, and apparently I have too much, even though I've been deleting things like all night. and it like stopped my recording and it wouldn't let me record. So I need to say this really, really fast because I don't know how much longer it's gonna let me record. But I have the email drafted. I copy and pasted a bulk of it, but then I did like change the whole beginning because we were already having a conversation. So I wanted to add on to that, say some personalized things to her. But now I've attached both documents and I think I'm ready to send it. Okay, I'm literally like one of those anxious people that has to reread something like 5 billion times before I send it. Because especially with email, text not really because you can edit it. But email, you can't edit it after the fact, so that makes me really nervous. So even though I've already read through it twice, and I read it out loud, I'm really nervous. But you know what? It's getting late. I need to go in a moment, so I'm just going to send it. 3, 2, 1. I sent it! Okay. It is sent. I am so excited. I'm really nervous because I've been feeling waves with this book. Last week when I finished editing, you saw I was really excited. I was tired, but I was really excited because I figured things out, which is good. The last 2 days, I have hated this book. Loathed it. I want to burn it in a fire. That is how much I hate it. So, I mean, that's a good lesson to all of you guys that like you go through waves as a writer, and that's perfectly fine. That's normal. But it also makes me nervous because why does this always happen? Oh my gosh, if you saw my other, or like my first video, or like this one, I'll link it down below. I'm a mess right now. But if you saw that when I was sending it to my first round of betas over a month ago, I said the same thing. I felt the same exact way. I was literally ranting to you guys. I was like, it was the worst time to send it to 3 people because I genuinely hate it now. I'm doubting my abilities. I just am not in a good headspace with this book. And then you saw kind of my transformation arc because once I started reading it, and one beta even finished it in like 2 days, she pulled an all-nighter reading it, that boosted my confidence exponentially. It went from here to here, for real. And I just started getting so happy as I was editing. It really just made me kind of fall back in love with the book, knowing that if 3 other people didn't hate it, 3-1, okay? They're beating out my self-loathing, self-depreciating thoughts. So that really meant a lot. But now that it's been a few weeks and I'm just like really doubting myself, I've made some pretty big revisions and I'm kind of losing sight of the vision again. I'm hating the book again. So it comes at perfect timing because hopefully I'll be getting some reassurance, but this always happens when I'm sending it is I get this wave of imposter syndrome. I just need to breathe. I sent it. What is there to do? I am going to take a break and then send the other one to beta number 5, which I'm not going to vlog. 1, because this clip is getting crazy long and my storage is probably going to say no. Also, because it's the same exact process. Like, it's the same thing. I only wanted to do this with one of you to go over it. But I will update you guys if anything happens, if she responds, when she starts reading, when the other beta starts reading, like all that good stuff. But I need to send it to the other one real quick and get ready for bed because it's a school night. Ugh. So originally I was actually going to close out the video with the last clip. I'm not even kidding. I had no other updates. This was literally just going to be a homecoming update and sending it to beta readers, and that was it. Until 3rd period came, which is AP World History for me. I know, like, one of the hardest classes you can take, one of the hardest APs, and I'm taking it, and I don't know why I'm regretting all my choices because it's really, really hard. But anyway, I was sitting in that class, we were watching a video about King Henry VIII, which if you're a Six the Musical fan, which I am, yes, that is the Henry that had the 6 wives. Anyway, it was super interesting, but she was like getting the video all set up and I had a couple minutes, so I was just like on my phone. I opened my email and I see something from beta number 4. She has started reading the book. Let's go. I'm so freaking happy. You have no idea. Like, I wish if I was home, I definitely would have recorded my reaction. I was like so giddy. My best friend, who happens to sit at the same table as me, was like talking to me and I was trying to like engage in conversation back, but internally I was screaming with happiness. The fact that beta number 4 officially started today and she's left almost 60 comments thus far is insane. So what I wanted to do, I have my laptop right here with all of her comments. Here's the thing. I haven't looked at any of these. And I thought, I'm so nervous, I'm like shaking right now. What better way than to do it on camera with you guys? It's gonna be going through, and I don't think I'm going to be like reading Because you know like how in Google Docs you have to highlight a certain bit of text and like leave a comment, and oftentimes they're leaving a comment based on that piece of text. I'm not going to be reading the text that they're leaving it on, so unfortunately I'm sorry, none of you guys are getting context as to what she is saying these things about, but I'm just going to kind of read her general reactions and thoughts thus far. I'm going to keep like everything spoiler free, obviously, because this book isn't out yet, and why would I want to do that? Needless to say, I'm terrified, I'm excited. I have been waiting. Her first comment was at 9:26. Her most recent one was at 1:08 p.m. and it is currently 2:42 p.m. So I've been waiting all day because I recently got home from school and got a Starbucks to sit down and record, to read it through all of these. So I'm just going to jump right into it. Let's just read what she has to say. Okay, so for the prologue, like when she just started reading, she said, "I'm so excited." There is a last line of the prologue that actually sets up the rest of the book really, really well. Actually, screw it. I'm going to read it because I think I actually have said it somewhere else, and it's at the end of the prologue. So this is the type of thing that if you go onto Amazon once this book is published, a sample is going to be available, and you could literally read this on like the Amazon sample previewer thingy that they offer. So like it's so early in the book that it's not a spoiler. So I agreed to keep Allison's hangout with her boyfriend a tight-lipped secret. The grin that lit up her face immediately afterward, like fireworks on the 4th of July, reassured me that I'd made the right choice. I was doing the right thing. I was making her happy. Little did I know, my sister would never come home, because she never even went to her boyfriend's house to begin with. Hey, and that sets up the mystery, because, you know, her sister Allison's been missing for 5 years, blah, 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 blah. That was a flashback. Prologue, let's go. So that's what beta number 4 was saying, ooh, too, because that sets up the mystery really, really nicely. Okay, next she says, "I really feel for Natalia's character already." Oh, yay! That's good, that's good, that's good. This was in chapter 1, so we gotta get people loving her early. This is just devastating. Oh my gosh, Natalia is diabolical and I love it. Yes, ma'am. Okay, I would do a period instead of a semicolon, but again, it's totally up to you. Here's the thing, this is gonna sound so embarrassing, and like, please don't come for me. I know I always brag about being like an English nerd and, you know, I write books and stuff, and I don't want you to be like, oh, so you don't know English, I don't want to read your books now. I just struggle with like the use of semicolons because I'm an M dash girl. And I feel like, I don't know, I just love the way they look, and I love the way you can just like in your brain tie it together. I've just kind of been more hesitant to use M dashes lately in my writing because I've seen all of the articles and videos and comments online about how like if you use M dashes, that's like a sign of artificial intelligence in your writing. I don't use AI, bro. I've been writing since before AI was even a thing. Okay, that's an exaggeration. I started writing in like 2018, so I'm not saying AI wasn't a thing, but it wasn't a big thing. Like, I don't need it. What? Guys, my writing is better than AI anyway, but my point being, like, I just gravitate toward M dashes, but then I'm always like, what's really the difference between that and a semicolon? Like, I know what a semicolon's for. It's pretty self-explanatory, because why it's the period on top and the comma on the bottom, because it's like in between a sentence and a period. It's like when you want to continue your sentence, but you also want to split it up, but not totally into like individual sentences, if that makes sense. But I'm always just like, I feel like everything is so subjective. You could, yes, put a semicolon, but you could also put a period. But you could also put a semicolon, but you could also put an M dash. Like, it really just depends on, like, the emphasis you want to make and how you want your readers to read it in their heads, basically. But that's something I struggle with, side note, so I think that any advice I can get on that is good. Okay, then she said, "This plot is so interesting so far." Oh, thank you. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this. Maybe I did. Remember how I said beta number 4 is writing her own book? It is like a contemporary romance with like some mystery sprinkled in. It's not as much mystery as mine, and that's not really like her committed genre. But what is interesting is I may or may not have stalked her Goodreads, and she did read The Naturals 6 months ago, maybe even a year ago. I wasn't paying attention to the dates, but within the last year, she gave it 4 stars. She really liked it. So she is kind of familiar with this kind of plot. So I'm happy that that's in her wheelhouse, more or less. Oh yeah. Okay. Back to the semicolon. This was a different thing a little bit later down the page. I put a semicolon and then the word after a semicolon I capitalized. I don't know, man. I know I'm like this seems like basic grammar. It's just like kind of confusing because when I look at books, I see it both ways. And she even said in here that it depends on what you like better. Both are grammatically correct. It's just preference. I don't know. Because again, I've seen it both ways, so it's like really, I don't know. But the fact that she points it out bothered her, maybe? I don't know. I will double check that. I'm so invested right now. Sorry, I wasn't laughing at that. I was laughing at the comment down below because there's a dialogue scene where this group of mean girls, it's in chapter 2, is basically just like talking crap about Natalia and about Natalia's reputation. And it really just, those girls don't contribute anything. They are not in anywhere else in the book. Like, they're not important. Their names aren't, actually, I think one of their names is given, but that's not the point. They're just really there to set up her internal and external conflict and get people kind of familiar because it's still very early on. It's only the second chapter. It's like the beginning of the second chapter, actually. Like, with who she is, why she's kind of as guarded as she is, why she has as many trust issues as she does. Like, just set up kind of how her life is like, get readers to get to know her, sympathize with her. It's mainly for character building, but this group of mean girls called her a clout-chasing whore. There's context to that, I promise, but you're not getting it. And then she said, oh my gosh, I want to fight them. That's real. Don't we all? And you know what's so funny? Oh my gosh. So the mean girl, I'm not going to say the name. You'll have to find out when you read it. I named the mean girl, this one mean girl from my middle school years who terrorized me all 3 years. So that was a fun Easter egg because I just imagined her and I want to punch her in the face and, you know, pretty accurate. Anyway, then she said, I love this line. Oh, yay, I'm happy. Oh yeah, because the line was, people love to talk about things that had nothing to do with them. Facts. I kind of ate with that though. Like, I feel like in so many ways, Natalia is just like all of our inner thoughts. Like, she's so filtered. Not so filtered. She is relatively filtered when she speaks, but her thoughts are like all of our thoughts. I swear. She's amazing. Okay, she's a little farther in chapter 1. She said, so far I'm enjoying the story and the plot. Obviously I'm not too far in, so I don't have a ton to say yet, but I'm genuinely interested to know what happens, and I'm really feeling for and understanding Natalia already. I'm rooting for her. 2 thumbs up on that. I think that I want to get to the plot. I want to get to the romance. It's like, I have to remind myself, no, Marcelina, people have to care about your character first. That's why when you read Labeled Innocent, Presumed Dead, you'll realize the entire first chapter, there's no dialogue in the first chapter. Call me crazy, but that first chapter is 100% dedicated to character building, and character building Natalia in particular. And there's one person on here, I don't know if she's watching, shout out to her, you know who you are, who has read the first chapter. Only one person in the entire universe, other than me, well, and my beta readers, but one person who's not a beta reader who has read the first chapter. It's a really nice way to introduce her, and I really, really want to make her as strong emotionally and as like well-rounded and dimensional as I can. Not necessarily just through like all the actions. That's why the first chapter there is no action, no significant action. She's baking cupcakes and hacking. And while the company that she is hacking does get referenced at one point, like in chapter, I don't even know, 7, 8, somewhere around there, it has no relevance. It's really just to get people to love her early on. So I think I'm doing a good job with that, which is good. I love that she has pink hair. I wish I was cool enough to pull that off. Oh my gosh. Real. I feel like I don't want people to think when like I describe her as pink hair being like this. No hate. I was thinking more like this. You know what I mean? I don't know. I definitely think that I want some too. Interesting. She's at the jaded meet cute. She said, something tells me there's more to him than meets the eye. Girl is clocking him already. Okay, to be fair, Natalia is too, so she's agreeing. But that meet cute definitely goes a certain way, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, she likes him. She's laughing. Okay, faded in before we got to the end of that scene. She said, I love a jaded black cat girl meets an arrogant, charming boy dynamic. Me too. Here's the thing. I have been wanting to use the black cat girlfriend, ex golden retriever boyfriend trope to describe this book, or at least to describe Jade and Natalia's relationship, for a long time. The only thing that's stopping me is just because I feel like Natalia isn't totally black cat energy. Like, she comes across that way at times, but I think that is that how I want to portray her character, you know? Like, I think she has moments that are built and hidden, or like they're a facade presented by her internal conflict, by her misbelief, by her flaws. But like, when you strip all of that down, and when she is comfortable with her newfound family, because found family is a big trope in this, it kind of unlocks like the real side of her, and that's like the opposite of a black cat persona. So like, I hesitate to use that as like a marketing trope, but I do totally agree with her. It's so iconic. And then these last few were the last of her comments, so I'm just gonna go through these real quick. Wait, is this the Allison chapter? Yes! Oh my gosh. Why did I just get so excited? What the heck? Sorry. Beta number 4 got to the Allison chapter. I just jumped. Whoa. Yeah, she got to the Allison diary chapter, and she said, "Ooh, I'm excited to know more about her." As my other beta readers will tell you, you shouldn't be excited for her chapters. They're depressing. They're really, 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 really sad. Think like the Andy Bell email, but 10 times worse. Not necessarily the first few. I was just telling my friend about this actually. It's such a funny, but like intentional progression that really symbolizes a lot about how she was corrupted. Is like her first few POV chapters start out so innocent, like just because they're diary entries. So they start out as like typical teenage girl diary entries, like the things she says and the content in which she covers. And then they slowly get less and less innocent, slowly get more and more like disturbing. And then by the end, all her sanity's gone. So it's just funny because like, you should be excited, but you also shouldn't be, because you're in for a roller coaster. Her chapters are like where half of the trigger warnings come from. I'm not even kidding. Okay, so the wording is a little confusing with a line. I get that. I think with her chapters, it's really hard because in books, like while reading, I mean, obviously this is book. While reading books, I don't really care. I don't have a preference as long as the plot and the story is good. I'm fine with anything. I actually don't even notice it half the time if the book is really good, but I have a weird preference when I'm writing. I can't write in present tense. And again, when I'm reading says versus said, half the time I don't even notice. I'm not even kidding. There have been so many times, especially because lately I do a lot of my reading late at night on my Kindle, and it's late at night. So I'm not saying I'm not reading, but like a lot of the times I'll think that I'm reading a book in past tense because my brain is so wired that way. And then halfway through the book, a says or asks will jump out at me, and I'll be like, oh, this book's in present tense. Okay. Like, it really doesn't affect the storytelling element of the novel at all. So I don't even notice it. It's really just a personal author preference. For me, I've been writing, I looked back on my old stories from 2018 when I started writing when I was 8 years old. They were in past tense. So I've been a past tense preference girly since I was a little kid, since I first started writing. It's just so much easier. I don't know, I can't describe it. It just flows better for me, and it's just how I like to write. Like, I know when you start to think about it, it doesn't really make sense, because it's like, well, why is it in past tense? Like, I thought this story is currently happening now. Like, is someone... I don't know. I just write in past tense, okay? But Allison's diary entries, it would be weird if they're written in past tense, because I want them to feel as, like, realistic as possible. And I also want to really emphasize, if people aren't reading or, like, paying attention to the change in formatting, or in the case of the Kindle ebook version, when the formatting isn't going to be as obvious, I want people to know distinctly, this is a diary entry, this is the main story. And yes, I say it in the chapter headings, I spell it out. Well, I don't say diary entry, but like I have like Allison and then Natalia. But for the people who just don't pay attention to that usually, which is fine, I want it to be clear. Diary entries are in present tense because it was when she was writing it, so I really want it to feel like an actual preserved document. And then the whole book isn't past tense. But because I never write in present tense, that's really not my cup of tea. I'm not good at it, and so therefore I feel like a lot of her lines, like in the diaries, sound a little clunky or a little like stiff, because I don't write present tense. The line she's talking about, have time with how much we had to chat about, like it's kind of a lot, so I'll definitely need to clean it up. Then again, another thing to like keep in mind, I'm not trying to defend myself here, like I totally get what she's saying. I haven't done my round of line edits yet. So trust me, when I do my round of line edits, which is as soon as I get both of their feedback back and I implement that, then we're jumping into line edits for almost 2 weeks. Then I'm gonna clean up like the individual lines and the clunkiness, but it's a good thing to keep in mind. She said I'm giggling. Oh, I was like, wait, why is she giggling? It's a Kyle scene. I sent this in my newsletter. Oh my gosh, you know what? I have not sent a newsletter in like 2 months. I'm so sorry to any of my newsletter subscribers watching. I've not sent a newsletter since August. Shoot. Okay, I'm gonna send one for sure in a couple weeks because I have an exciting book promo deal for my last book that I got approved with another vendor. I'm gonna talk about that on my channel as it gets closer, probably in the next vlog, and I'm gonna send out a newsletter. So if you're a newsletter subscriber, around like October 26th-ish, that's when the sale starts, check your inboxes. I promise I will be sending one. If you're not subscribed to my newsletter and you want to be, you can sign up through my website. The link will be in the description down below or on the screen. Basically, just go there. You have to wait a few seconds, so just like stay on the website for a few seconds and then a pop-up will appear. And if I coded it and it's working correctly, then you should be able to type your email in, and then you won't receive one right away, nor will you receive my past ones, I don't think, but like going forward, you'll receive all of them. So please do that. If you want to stay caught up, you get like bonus access and first sneak peeks, and I'll be sending out exclusive incentives and fun things as we get closer to release. Anyway, promo over. I sent out this cutesy Kyle Natalia banter scene. She's giggling because of it. Good, that's the reaction I wanted her to have. She's suspicious with Allison's chapters, as she should be. She said, I sense foreshadowing. I'm just gonna say this, Allison's chapters are like the blueprint textbook for foreshadowing. Like, I cannot wait for all of you guys to like see the plot twist unveiled and then go back and reread all of her diary entries, just the diary entries. You will find so much hidden lore and like breadcrumbs of hints that I sprinkled in. It's not even funny. I mean, it'll be funny to me to like watch you guys slowly process it because I hide so much in her chapters. Ooh, okay, nice. Okay, she said, I love the imagery. That's good. Oh my gosh, she's amazing. She said, huh, in all capital letters, and then O in lowercase letters with a question mark, and then O in all capital letters. Oh my gosh. Too funny. Aw, okay, this is really, really encouraging. Okay, she made a comment that said, the pacing has been good so far. I haven't been bored at any parts, and when a chapter ends, I just want to keep going. Yes, I'm really happy. That makes me so happy. That makes me really, really, really happy. And if you don't know me, if you're new to my channel, you're probably like, why is she so excited about a compliment about pacing? I struggle at pacing. If you were to ask me, objectively, non-biasedly, hey Marcelina, just like be honest with yourself, what do you think is your number one flaw as a writer? What do you struggle with most in your books? Pacing. Pacing, okay? I cannot pace to save my life. So that is one of the number one like negative reviews that I've gotten, is that my books move too fast. And my last book took place over the span of like 3 days. I don't like to drag things out, and also there's just too many complicated logistical things when dragging things out too, with like, then the characters have to sit with it. It just makes sense if everything happens back to back. I don't know, but it's problematic, I know, and it's something I'm stressing about for all my future books, is like, I'm trying to get better, but I don't know if I'm getting better. The only way to know is to get outside feedback, and all my outside feedback, because this is a question in the questionnaire, all of it has been super overwhelmingly positive, which makes me super grateful. And she's one of those people that likes it. Okay, what else? I'm dying. I'm dead. She said, blonde men are always evil. Okay. Yeah. See, it's so funny because ever since I made one of the love interests in this book blonde, all of these videos have started coming up on my For You pages that it's like basically saying how much they don't like blonde MMCs and how like brown haired, or like mainly brown haired or just dark haired do it better, and like the only blonde MMC they like is Aaron Warner, which is fair, but then also like, don't judge a book by its cover. Whatever happened to that? Like, I promise you guys are gonna love Kyle. He's going to be your next book boyfriend, okay? Trust. Have faith in me, please. Aww. Ah, oh my gosh, my heart. She just said this plot is so addictive. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that's like the best compliment an author can receive. I love how she says love triangle in all caps with like 3 question marks. As if I didn't tell her when I sent her the email that it was a love triangle. At least I think I did. No fault to her. I know a lot of times when like people, especially when random strangers are cold emailing you, a long paragraph, you don't read every word as in depth as if they sent you a 2-sentence email. But I'm scared. What if she doesn't like love triangles? What if she hates them? Okay, to be fair though, beta number 2 said she absolutely despised love triangles and she usually avoids them, but she really liked mine. So I have a feeling I'm going to be getting that kind of reaction a lot when I actually publish this book and I get readers involved. I'm preparing myself for that like double take. I'm going to try to preface it as much as I can so I'm not getting these angry like, no one told me this was a love triangle. If I would have known this was a love triangle, I would have never bought this book. Okay, that's on you. But also it's pretty obvious in the blurb, even though I don't explicitly say this book has a love triangle. If you read the blurb, basically tells you, okay? And then she just had like reactions. What? In all caps. Aw, so sweet. Let's go. No, for context on the last one, I feel like that could be misconstrued. Is it like a positive, like enthusiastic, let's go? No, it's because I don't want to get into it without getting into it, you know. Basically, this book centers around the Bureau, which is like an FBI secret society group. They take on cases that the FBI basically labeled as low priority and they don't want to deal with, so they're basically just like, here, we're not going to get to these, so like, have fun, have at it. And the Bureau mainly focuses on missing women and children cases in their small-ish town in Minnesota. I believe she's on chapter, I'm trying to think, when does this happen? This would have been like chapter 12, maybe? They received their first case. Not their first case, they've had like 80 cases. They've been established for like 2 years, but their first case with Natalia as an official member, so like to her first case, and they just got a case, so she's saying like, let's go, we need to leave. She shouldn't be that enthusiastic because a young woman went missing. I'm trying to remember exactly what I said, because there's like 3 or 4 cases in this book. This is the very, very first one, I think. I was gonna say I was getting confused with the second case, which happens after chapter 17, which chapter 17, my favorite chapter. Chapter 17 as a whole might actually be my favorite thing I've ever written, period. I adore it for a lot of reasons, but there's a case that happens right after that, but that's not, I don't think she's that far, because she would have commented on chapter 17, so she's on the very first one, which is the one in the woods. Okay, now I'm just talking more to myself than you guys, sorry. But yeah, anyway, those are all her comments thus far, and I'm pretty sure, I could be so wrong about this, pretty sure she's up to like chapter 11 or 12. That's the thing as a writer, you like, please don't be like, Marcelina, don't you know your own book? Well, first of all, I haven't touched this book actually in like a week since I finished the last round of beta edits, which was the whole purpose of the last vlog. So it was definitely last week. Since I sent it off, I've been giving myself a break. I've read like 2 books, maybe even 3 books in between as kind of like a palate cleanser. They've all been standalones, like low stakes romances, just to like give me a little escapism, get me off this book while it's off with beta readers, because there's no point in stressing about it. And that's what I do with beta readers. I give myself a break. I just low-key forget, and then when I'm editing, which I've been editing for the past 2 months, because I haven't written like first draft written since I finished this in July. When I'm editing, I skip around. I do not go chronologically. I just skip around to whatever I need to rewrite, or I just like pick, I want to rewrite the ending today, and then I do that. So I have not read this book all the way through since August. It is October 16th. Please give me a break. It's either chapter 11 or 12, I think. So she's made a really, really good dent in it. And I'm so grateful and I'm so happy and I'm just overwhelmed with, I can't even think of the right word. I just feel so blessed and lucky because I know I've already given the spiel about beta number 4 and I don't want to like put her on a pedestal because I've had 3 other beta readers and then I have another one lined up. No shade to them. It's crazy that oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. It's crazy that I was able to get her on my team. I love all of my beta readers to pieces, and I'm so grateful for them. But it's like, think of your biggest hobby. Let's say it's a sport you play, and then think of like your biggest role model, your biggest like inspiration in that sport. So if you play basketball, let's say, like your most inspirational women's basketball idol, like she's the reason you got into it, you love her so much, she gives you inspiration and motivation, like you want to be like her. You don't think she'll ever notice you, and then one day like you find out she comes to one of your games and she actually watches you play, and you get noticed by her, and then maybe she posts about you or something. It's like, it's that feeling of like getting noticed by someone who really inspires you, and like not even like just in a way where like they mention you or they tag you in something, like they genuinely treat you as if you guys are equals, as if you're on the same level. It's surreal. I'm like gonna tear up just because I have been watching her for a long time. I really do admire her, and I watch all her videos being like, you know, rooting for her and just thinking she was like so much like not on my level, just so much higher than me and above me. And then the fact that like she's beta reading my book, she's taking time out of her life to give feedback on a 15-year-old's book. Like, it's just like, it means the world to me. And the fact that like she genuinely seems to be enjoying herself, she seems to be having a really fun time with it so far, is good. It's good. Also because she's 21 years old, and that was something I always compare my last book. I feel like, please, by the way, if you're new, I feel like I should preface this. I know I say a lot of like negative things about my last book, Build It, Divide Us. Please don't think it's a bad book, okay? Like, I'm one of those people where I will constantly criticize my past self, my past decisions. Like, I actually don't really like the Build That Divides Us now. I was reading back through it a couple days ago. I don't like it anymore, but that's just how I am. I'm so proud of it, and there are so many people, you could just ask like half the people on this channel who have been here, like they ate this book up. Like, I still get sales daily, and I still get DMs and comments constantly of people telling me that it's their favorite book of the year, that I'm one of their favorite mystery authors, that I'm their favorite teen author, that like I was just talking about this with my friend again the other day. Like, I had a solid 5 people, I want to say, tell me that they stayed up until midnight on release of The Bully Divides Us. And then it was like release day, morning or afternoons. The book hadn't been out more than like 12 hours, and they'd already finished it, and they gave it 5 stars, and they loved it. So like, it's a good book. I just am very critical of my past self, so I'm only picking out like the bad things. But speaking of my last book, it is YA, but like adults can read YA too, and also because I feel like it's definitely more kind of upper, like middle upper YA, just because of some of the subject matter, that I feel like it's not gonna be something, or so I thought, that like someone in their early 20s would like cringe at, you know what I mean? Like, my mom read it and she enjoyed it, okay? But I did get a couple of adults reading it. To be fair though, it was a range. I got one, I think she was 23 years old, who ARC read it, and she gave it 4 stars. She really, really enjoyed it. And then I got another one, but she was a little, I think she was like 28 years old. She did not like it. And she said it felt like too childish. She's like, this book should be middle grade. I was like, huh? Oh. It's a murder mystery with abuse and rape. It should be middle grade? Really? Really? Anyway, I just have no perception of like age, because I've matured very, very young. People have always told me that, and I feel like that definitely comes through my writing. Like I said a couple of vlogs ago, one of my beta readers said that my characters all acted older than they are, and they're older than me already. Beta number 4, what I'm trying to say is beta number 4 is my first adult beta reader that I've had read this book. All my other beta readers, I don't want to dox anyone, but from what I know, not that I like know their ages, but just I know from their channels, or they've mentioned it to me, all of my other beta readers are like between the ages of like 13 and 16. I think my oldest is 16. I have not had anyone older than that read it, let alone an adult. So beta number 4 is my first adult reading it, and it's like, that's a whole different world. And I do think like there are going to be things she doesn't get, which is fine, because this book is targeted for teenagers anyway, but like I'm really glad to get that perspective too, because it's bound to happen. And I feel like a lot of my ARC readers, like, because I'm doing 2 separate ARC readers, I'm doing like some ARC readers. I have a couple of friends who are going to be ARC readers. I have anyone who was an ARC reader last time who gave it like a I'm trying to decide, like a 3.5, 3 or higher on my last book. I'm going to automatically just reach out to them and ask. But then I'm going to be reaching out to a whole separate, like 100 book influencers, book talkers, booktubers, stuff like that for PR purposes. And the majority of those are like, I mean, you know, if you watch BookTube and Book Talk constantly and you consume that type of content, most of those influencers are between maybe like 18, 19 and like in their 30s. So I have to be okay with the fact that like adults are going to be reading this. So like I do think it's nice to have that range and age perspective, because that does determine a lot. She does really enjoy YA though, because from her Goodreads, she loves A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, she loves Powerless, she loves The Hunger Games, she loves like the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. Like, so I think that's in her wheelhouse anyway. And I mean, again, I'm not calling her old, like 21 is not old, but I just, anyway, what I'm trying to say is I think that's something to keep in mind. It's good for me, and like I just wanted to like announce how happy I am that it all worked out. But I think it's also good if you're a writer, like you should definitely get a range in age. I think you should mainly stick, for beta readers specifically, you should stick to people in your target audience. So like if you're writing a middle grade book, depending on like what subject matter, if it's like upper middle grade, lower middle grade, whatever, stick to people generally in that. So generally middle grades like 8 to 12. For example, Keeper of the Lost Cities, it is still my absolute favorite middle grade, is my go-to middle grade rec. It's really, really the series that got me into reading when I read it in 6th grade. So I was like 11, 12 when I read it. I would definitely consider that upper middle grade. I think that there's no, like, from what I remember, there's no, like, swearing or anything in it, obviously, but, like, from book 1, but it just, like, gets darker and darker with each book, there is a lot of themes of, like, kidnapping, and I think toward the later books, it's been, like, 4 years since I read it, but there's, I think in the later books, like, torture and, a lot of talks of, like, murder and just stuff like that, so it does get a little bit darker. So I would recommend that book series for ages, like, 10, 11 and up. I honestly could see the later books in the series being like a lower YA kind of thing. Like, maybe that's just me, I don't know. But anyway, you want to stick within your target range. So if you're writing middle grade, keep it to maybe like ages 9 to 12, 10 to 13. But it's also good to know that like adults read middle grade all the time. Adults read YA all the time, especially YA. So it's like definitely try to get, I would not recommend getting a way younger person to read a YA book just because you want a range and variety. Try to keep it to older, but I think getting an adult beta reader, if you have a parent, if you have a family friend, an English teacher maybe, who you have a really good bond and rapport with, maybe they like books, whatever the case may be, if you just happen to have that, or like in my case, like I'm networking here, try to get variety when you're beta reading, because I think that perspective is gold. That feedback is actually really priceless, and especially if you are going to publish, you are going to need it. You're going to thank yourself later for getting that, because either way, adults are going to find your book, and not even in a creepy way. 80% of the bookish community online, like when it comes to book talk, booktube influencers, are adults. So just getting kind of that side of it, that's probably worth noting as well. I don't know if you can tell, my throat is dying, and I think we're done here. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up this week's vlog. I know it's kind of boring, aside from the few clips at the beginning. I was sitting, if you didn't notice, I was actually, fun fact, I was going to set up my phone in the exact same spot that I set it up before. So for like the 20-minute intro clip, when I was sending it to beta readers, I was sitting right here. I just shifted over here. I've basically been in the same spot this whole 40 whatever minute video this ended up being. It's fine, it's whatever, it's okay. Anyway, I'm just super happy because beta readers are loving it. And even if it's just really, I feel like this vlog is just mainly about beta number 4, but I really just cannot wait to share this update with you guys. It means so much to me, and you know, since I'm dedicated to documenting my whole process on here, this is a really big step forward in the right direction, and it means the absolute world to me that she's loving it so far. Like, that's so encouraging. I hope you found this video just as fun and not boring like I am worried it is, but I also hope it helped you if you're in the same boat, or if you're like, beta readers are so far down the line for me. Well, good luck writing your book or planning your book, or whatever stage you're at, or even if you're not a writer, I hope that your current reads are going well. I hope that like either way this was insightful or interesting or just really a good use of your time. I know my vlogs are so long, I can't help it, but I've gotten good feedback from y'all that you actually like my longer videos. So thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. All of you mean the world to me. Thank you for watching. All my links will be in the description down below, and I will see you all in the next video very soon.